If you're trying to figure out what is actually going to help you feel better, it's going to help you drop that inflammation, steady your energy, um, get you to finally break that cycle of starting and stopping your diets, you were probably a bit frustrated, right? There's so much noise out there, and everyone has an opinion about what diet is the best diet. And many of the stuff that I see is not designed with women's hormones in mind. Now, maybe while you're watching this, if you're watching this close to the live, or you're actually here today, um, you might be already thinking, okay, well, look, it's the holidays, Thanksgiving is here. I'll just figure this out after Thanksgiving. Or maybe it'll be after Christmas, or maybe for the new year. That's when we'll do it. No, we're going to start now. Okay. You will be able to still have your Thanksgiving dinner this week, and don't feel like you're going to have to take that away, because yeah, it's right around the corner. I get that. But we're going to build this slowly and in a way that's going to support your hormones, um, a way that is going to help your stress response, help your metabolism. And I think the education behind it is really important. You need to understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, and how it actually works. And that's going to take some time, right? We're going to do this the right way. So, this is not going to be a crash diet. This is not going to be I'm trying to lose weight for this special event. This is a reset. We're getting ourselves back on track. We're going to figure out how to do the keto diet the right way. So, hi, I'm Ryan. I am your keto cousin. I am a keto coach. I am a certified advocate through the Metabolic Terrain Institute of Health. And I help men and women who are suffering with metabolic issues to reclaim their health and their vitality through simple lifestyle changes. So, in this video, we are starting with week 1 of a keto reset. And this is specifically designed for women 35 and up who are experiencing real shifts due to perimenopause. So today I'm going to show you why ketosis really is a superior diet. It's kind of crazy to say that, but the advantages of a keto diet. We're going to learn about ketosis, why it matters for your brain, for your hormones, and you're going to get all the things that you need ready so that you can start before we even talk about changing your food. We're going to get educated. By the end of this video, you're going to understand why this keto reset actually works, why it's important and different for women, and you'll know exactly what to do to be ready for week 2. Okay, so as usual, I have some slides here that we are going to pop up. So let's pop these slides up. Here we go. So, being into ketosis becomes a really powerful tool for women that are in their mid 30s, their late 30s, their 40s, and beyond. So, we know that perimenopause can start as early as 35 for some women, and most women don't feel old at 35, but your hormones do start shifting. They're quietly shifting. Your estrogen will start swinging a bit, your progesterone may begin to drop. And I know we think of estrogen as like just your female hormone, but it's much more than that. It signals your brain, your thyroid, your stress response, your blood sugar. Everything is listening to it, to your estrogen. So when your estrogen levels start dropping, your brain cannot rely on glucose the same way. So you may not know this, but glucose needs estrogen to move into your brain efficiently. So when that pathway gets unstable because of changes in your estrogen levels, you will start to feel it. It may look like brain fog. Um, Anxiety might feel stronger. Your sleep might be thrown off. You may not have the energy to carry you through your day. But something you also may not know is that ketones don't use that same pathway. They don't need estrogen. They don't respond or depend on the same system that glucose does. So ketones can move into your brain much more easily, even when your estrogen is fluctuating. And so that means that when your hormones are shifting, your ketones can still give your brain the fuel that it needs without the ups and downs. You're going to feel clearer. You're going to feel more level, have more energy. So the big picture here is that in perimenopause, your hormones are moving around, but your brain, it still needs the same amount of energy it always has. But the glucose becomes less reliable because the estrogen that helps to transport it is now inconsistent. So ketones are a path around that system, and they're going to deliver the fuel to your brain um, without depending on that estrogen. And really, your brain actually prefers the ketones. Okay. So, ketosis is good for so many reasons, especially for women going through perimenopause. So, let's be clear on what ketosis actually is, because I think many people get confused. Um, Ketosis is a metabolic state. It's when your body is shifting from running on sugar or glucose for energy to then running on fat as your fuel, as your energy source. And when you are in that state of ketosis, your body is making ketones, which are a clean, steady fuel for your brain. They don't cause that spike and crash like glucose does. And again, it doesn't depend on estrogen to get into your brain, which is a big deal because in perimenopause, our hormones are shifting. And many people miss the point of keto. They think that, oh, I'm eating keto. And really, the goal is not to eat keto, but it's to be in a state of ketosis. Those are two different things, right? You can eat all the keto recipes you want and never actually create ketones. It's not as easy as it seems to get into ketosis while eating. Fasting, you fast, you're going to get into ketosis. You're not eating, you're going to get into ketosis pretty easily. But if you're planning on eating, you want to enjoy some food and make ketones, you got to do it the right way. So this series is about helping you get into ketosis and not just follow a diet. Okay, we're going to do this in a way that is supportive and sustainable and actually easy. That's the goal. So, what we are not doing is doing anything extreme. Okay, I'm not asking you to starve yourself. You're not waking up tomorrow and you're on a strict ketogenic diet. Um, we're not doing any long fasting. You can do these things later, like you can do the fasting later when your body and if your body is ready for it. And what we're not going to do is ignore our hormones. Okay, so if you are of a certain age, and your body's already giving you those signals, we have to move into ketosis and use the state of ketosis in a way that supports your hormones and not work against them. Okay, so this is going to be intentional, it's going to be structured, it's going to be something that your body can actually keep up with, because we don't want to have high cortisol. Um, because many of us in this age group have had high cortisol for probably decades. So we're going to do this the right way. So, what you're going to learn in this series, I want to show you where we're headed. This is not a one and done video, right? So, this is a full reset. I'm walking you through this with me kind of week by week. So, you're going to learn how to enter ketosis in a way that supports your hormones instead of working against them. I'm going to teach you how to use the right fat to protein ratio in a way that makes sense for your body. You're going to understand why your energy has been dipping and how you can stabilize it. We are going to understand how to avoid the keto flu so that you don't feel like quitting after starting for 3 days. Okay. We'll go through how to build metabolic flexibility. And what that means is that you'll be able to enjoy higher carbs, maybe a day here or there when life calls for it, right? Like an event like Thanksgiving or a birthday or you're on vacation. You're going to know how to enjoy that and then get right back into ketosis without feeling like you just fell off a cliff. So we're going to learn how to use that flexibility, how to get on and out, get in and out of ketosis. And then you're going to learn about what it feels like. What are the signs that you're actually in ketosis? Okay, so we're not guessing, we know exactly what is happening. All right, so here is week one. Week one is going to be all about gathering the tools that you need and learning a couple of simple skills. Okay, we're not changing any food this week. So we are going to just prepare. So, some things you're going to need. You're going to need a blood glucose and ketone meter. Now, I use the Keto Mojo. I like that it gives you both your ketone readings and your blood glucose on one device. We're not going to start by tracking our ketones, obviously, because we're not in ketosis. There's no point to it yet. But what I do want you to do is get familiar with your Keto Mojo and learn how to check your morning blood sugar. So spend some time this week. First, order your ketone and glucose meter, and then spend some time getting to know your blood glucose, seeing where your levels are. Learn how to use the meter. You will need to prick your finger. Don't let that scare you. It is a teeny, teeny, tiny little prick. You have felt much, much, much worse pain from a headache or heavy period cramps. This is quick and it's going to be over before you even think about it. So please don't let that deter you. The information that we're going to get from that is going to be invaluable. Okay. And it's going to tell you what your blood sugar is doing before we even start making changes. So you're going to track that, figure out how to use the machine, and then begin tracking, writing down where your blood sugar is when you wake up first thing in the morning. You only need to do it once. I would wait about 30 minutes after you wake up and then test your blood sugar. Make it a habit for the morning. Okay. When you are prepping and gathering your materials, some other things that you might need are some keto urine test strips. These are inexpensive. They're much less expensive than the ketone blood strips that we will be using. They serve a different purpose. You kind of need both. But these are very inexpensive, the urine test strips. And they're going to give you a general idea of when you start producing ketones. And they're not perfect. That's why we do need the blood ketone meter later on, but they're great in the beginning. And I will link the ones that I use, both the Keto Mojo and the keto urine strips down below. Right? You should be able to see them down below. The next thing you want to gather are your electrolytes. Okay, so we need to make sure we are replacing. We're going to talk about all of this as well again, but you want to make sure that you have something to help replace the electrolytes that you're going to use as you move into ketosis. It's important though, because there are a lot of different electrolytes on the market, and many of them have added sugar, fillers, and carbs that will work against you if you're trying to get into ketosis and you're wondering, I'm doing all the things, why is it not working? It could be you're using the wrong electrolytes. So, my go to is Ultima. I've used it for years. They have a lot of great flavors. I like the grape, I like the cherry, and I like the strawberry. They have tons of other flavors as well. And most people do really well with the Ultima. So I would grab that. I have that also linked down below. Now, next, you're going to need to decide on a fat source. Um, you don't need to make anything complicated. Just pick a fat source that you might enjoy, something that you'll use, because keto is a high fat diet. You're going to need a fat source. You could use butter, ghee, olive oil, coconut oil, MCT, um, olive oil. Did I say that already? MCT oil, any of those. My personal favorites are I use a lot of butter. Um, I use olive oil. I also use MCT oil, but use what you like. Next is you're going to want to have a really large water bottle because you're going to need to make sure that hydration is your second job. Yes. So if you don't already have a nice big water bottle, get one. I just use a large um, what is this called? A mason jar, a large mason jar. And here I have Ultima in it right now in some water. So this holds about, I think, 32 ounces, and I fill this up 3+ times during the day. But if you know that you're on the go and you need to have that water with you, a glass container might not be your best bet, but I take that with me everywhere I go. Um, I keep it in the car. But whatever works for you, just make sure you have it. Next, you are going to need some salt. I like Redmond's real salt, but you can use whatever good salt you have. The important thing is you want to keep it with you. So you want small containers of salt that you can put in your purse, you can put it in your car, because you may need it, because we're going to try to prevent you from feeling the keto flu. Okay, so we want to have salt everywhere. So get your salt ready and get those little small containers, and I will link them. Redmond has some small salt containers, or you can just search on Amazon and they have like little salt containers that you can just put in your purse. I would encourage you to take some before pictures. Of course, those are for you. You don't have to share them with anyone, but you'll be glad that you did them, you took them. You'll have something to compare before and after, and along your journey. So I think that is pretty much all that you are going to need. So week 1, you're gathering your tools, pick your fat source, get your electrolytes, stay hydrated. You're not changing any foods yet. You're just building the foundation. Okay? So that's week 1. You're going to have everything you need to get started. We're going to keep this simple on purpose. This week is about paying attention to your body, gathering the tools that you'll use for the rest of the series. And before you go, I would love to hear from you. You can drop your age in the comments below. Tell me, what is your biggest struggle right now? Is it cravings? Is it energy? Is it brain fog? Whatever it is, let me know. I will read your comment and I will write back. And let me know if you want to start this, if you're going to start this with me this week. I want to see who is committed. Make sure you are subscribed because week 2 is where we're going to start by making some shifts with our food. And that step will begin to change everything. Okay. All the links for the tools that I mentioned are down below: the Keto Mojo, the electrolytes, the keto urine strips, the salt containers. So grab what you need so that you're ready. Have a beautiful week, and I will see you in week 2. Bye.